Let's talk perception versus reality for a minute. Just recently, Futurum Research did a digital transformation study talking to hundreds of C-level and business executives about their digital transformation. And one of the takeaways, and I'm not going to give them all away because the study's not out yet, but one of the big takeaways was the perception of people and the reality of knowledge. And what I mean by this is the perception is that CTOs and CIOs within organizations know a lot about technology and the whole stack for digital transformation, cloud, IoT, AI, VR, etc. The reality, though, is the CIOs and CTOs and leaders that answered, it turns out they don't know as much as you might think. And this is really, really interesting for many reasons. One is if you are a company and you are depending on your top technology officers to drive your digital transformation, you may be in big trouble. For many reasons. One is because tech shouldn't drive it, but for another reason, when you're looking at how technology can drive experiences, if your top officers, the ones that are deciding your transformation strategy, don't fully understand what's possible, you're putting your business in a huge risk. The other reason too is for so many vendors that are marketing products, the companies I work with every day, they're selling highly technical ideas to companies under the impression that these leaders know what they're talking about. And if the study is true, and we believe it is, there's a missing variable here because you're being sold high-level content, white papers, documentation about how cloud this, IoT that is going to work to drive your business forward, but it turns out that these leaders may not fully understand and they're highly dependent on these vendors to tell them. So they're being influenced by the vendor side, but they're not actually learning at a quick enough rate to stay ahead of the curve for all the technology that's available to drive your digital transformation. So we'll be releasing a lot more soon on this, but this is a really, really important thing to consider. As marketers or as brands that are trying to sell technology, are you selling over the head of the biggest decision makers? That's a question. The second is, as companies, who are you putting in charge of your digital transformation? I've said for a long time it needs to start with the CEO. I still believe this is true, but more than ever, the CIO and CTO is going to struggle to keep up with all the technology that's coming to market. So how do you keep them abreast of all the newest, all the hottest technologies, make sure they understand how they work and how they're going to drive your company's transformation while keeping it in line with the business objectives and not letting them become too hooked onto the vendor, guiding their decisions based on what the vendor wants to sell versus what your company needs the most.